Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Why Your Mental State Currently At. This is day 2 on this, well, actually day 3 on this particular webinar on the platform. Today I am on like 2 hours early today, very busy day, and I finally got a chance to jump on here today. So I have a couple of videos I want to share with you all today. Not too much of a conversation today, but just one of those videos to kind of give you an insight about some of the elements that you can kind of see what's going on between each one. So I'm going to start off with the first video up top and then move on to the second video, and that'll be all for today, everybody.
Hey Psych2Goers, do you remember the last time you felt sad, anxious, or scared that you were somehow off? You're not alone, even if it feels like it. The National Alliance on Mental Illness, or NAMI, reports sometimes a funk or rough patch can be a sign of something much deeper. This video represents 10 mental health symptoms you shouldn't ignore. Before we begin, we need to warn you that this video may be triggering for some. If you feel triggered by this video, please take care of yourself, even if it means clicking off this video. With that being said, let's talk about the 10 mental health symptoms you should not ignore. 1. You're having feelings of sadness or depression that last longer than 2 weeks. All people experience sadness at one time or another. However, most normal feelings of sadness get better with time. The American Psychiatric Association reported abnormally intense sadness lasting 2 weeks could be a sign of depression. The National Institute of Mental Health stated not being able to snap out of it or sadness being heavier than normal should be taken seriously. You're having extreme mood swings and don't know why. You find that your mood seems to switch super quickly or randomly. Clem and others studied how often the average person's mood shifts on any given day. According to the National Center of Biotechnology Information, NCBI, this study showed people tend to experience positive emotions, such as joy or love, more often than negative ones. But it's totally normal for someone's emotions to change daily. However, the National Alliance for the Mentally Ill, NAMI, warns especially dramatic mood swings that cause huge changes in your behavior and energy can be a sign of bipolar disorder. Agencies such as the American Academy of Pediatrics say more red flag signs are experiencing sadness, anger, or feelings of excessive euphoria for most of the day, especially if it has nothing to do with what's going on in your life. 3. You're worried and anxiety have gotten out of control. Have you ever found yourself worrying but can't shut it off? According to the National Institute for Mental Health, it may be a sign of an anxiety disorder. Other signs of anxiety disorders include having problems relaxing, insomnia, racing thoughts, unexplained aches and pains, or being easily irritated. The Anxiety and Depression Association of America suggests that if you've ever felt this way on most days for at least 6 months, you should consider talking to a mental health professional about your symptoms. 4. You've started withdrawing from others or isolating yourself. Taking time away from others can be positive for your mental health and physical health. But what if you constantly make excuses to avoid socializing? Mental health pros, such as Raymond Starr Jr. and Howard Dubowitz, say avoiding people or events you used to enjoy can be a sign of mental illness, such as depression, anxiety, or a psychotic disorder. 5. You may have noticed you're having delusions or hallucinations. Kumari and others describe the 2 aspects of psychosis, hallucinations and delusions, as a sense of perception or belief that creates a lot of urgency in the person experiencing it. Despite evidence the perception or belief isn't real. The National Alliance on Mental Illness reports up to 100,000 people in the U.S. will experience psychosis every year. NAMI further stated 3 out of every 100 people will have a psychotic episode as a symptom of a physical or a mental illness, such as schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder in their lifetime. 6. You're having more and more difficulty dealing with normal life situations. Have you ever gone through a time in your life when nothing seemed to go right and you just couldn't deal? The Australian Department of Health stated a rough patch that you just can't get past, one that hurts your ability to function for more than 2 weeks to 2 months, may be a sign of depression or anxiety. A major sign that what you're experiencing is more than just a rough patch. is when you have a hard time functioning in normal situations for several weeks, according to Mental Health America. 7. You're sleeping too much or too little. The Harvard University School of Medicine believes that 10 to 18% of the general population has problems sleeping. However, Harvard's med school stated either sleeping too much or too little is 2 or 3 times more common in people who suffer from a mental illness. The Harvard Med School stated about 50% of people who live with ADHD, depression, anxiety, or bipolar disorder suffer from insomnia or hypersomnia, which means sleeping too much. 8. You started abusing drugs or alcohol. According to mentalhealth.gov, 1 in 4, or 25% of people who live with the symptoms of a mental illness use alcohol or drugs to self-medicate things like anger, anxiety, or mania. Experts believe individuals who suffer from depression, anxiety disorders, personality disorders, or schizophrenia are more likely to use drugs and alcohol as a coping mechanism than people diagnosed with other mental illnesses. 9. You're having extreme anger outbursts. Do you ever feel anger that's almost impossible to control, or way too much for the situation? If so, your anger may be warning you about your stress levels, unresolved grief, or your anxiety. Healthline reported extreme anger outbursts can also be a sign of unresolved trauma, bipolar disorder, alcohol abuse, obsessive-compulsive disorder, intermittent explosive disorder, or depression. If you wonder if your anger is healthy, experts recommend first recognizing your physical and emotional signs of anger. And 10. You started thinking of self-harm or suicide. The Mental Health Foundation reported that 10% of people under the age of 30 thought about self-harm or suicide. There are many reasons people consider self-harm or suicide, such as abuse or neglect at home, a major loss, trauma, or catastrophe that you can't control or avoid. Brodnick, 2018, reported approximately 90% of people who have completed suicide also suffered from a severe mental illness, such as bipolar disorder or depression. If you find yourself thinking about self-harm or suicide, we would very much like you to reach out to a mental health professional and get the help that you need and deserve. If you can relate to any of these symptoms on this list, you're definitely not alone, nor are you bad for feeling this way. But we want you to take care of yourself, which means reaching out to a mental health professional if you've been experiencing any of the symptoms on this list. As always, any information provided here is for educational purposes only. If you need mental health counseling or treatment, please contact your insurance company, local college's student counseling clinic, or your county crisis line. Keep watching the Psych2Go channel for more information on mental illness and mental health, and remember help is out there. We'll see you in the next video.
Alright, we're going to tune into the next one. This one is looks like, can you see the difference between each two? So this one's probably very short, everybody.
Only a schizophrenic or a genius can answer these two questions. It is practically impossible to tell an average person from a person with schizophrenia by their appearance. Many psychiatric tests and methods are used in order to find out what is going on in the patient's head and determine whether they need help. Here are two simple questions that can be answered only by a person with schizophrenia or by an extraordinary genius person. Do you want to give it a try? To get precise results, answer the questions in accordance with your feelings. Try to concentrate on what you see, not what it should look like. Question number 1. Is the mask convex on one side or two? I'll give you 10 seconds. Have a closer look at the picture. Okay, now, question 2. Is the mask rotating in one direction or in two? Again, here are 10 seconds. Are you ready for the answers?
Yes.
Number 1. The mask is convex only on one side. Number 2. The mask is rotating in the right direction. So, let's see who you are, crazy or a genius. If you answered both questions wrong, do not worry. You are a completely healthy person. And if one of the answers was obvious to you, it's probably time to find a friend that is a psychiatrist. The truth is that the brain of a healthy person tends towards self-deceit. It takes into account artificial forms and extra shadows, correcting the picture. We swallow the hook of the illusion, no matter if we want to or not. People with schizophrenia do not have this imagination. Their brains cannot establish the connection between the details. They see the mask just as it really is. For them, the mask is concave and rotates in one direction. What difference does genius make? Schizophrenia and genius are not that different. However, it is possible to distinguish between them. Genius personalities possess both types of thinking, that of a healthy person as well as the schizophrenic one, and they can switch between the types of thinking. They see the illusion just the way an ordinary person sees it, but they also see the catch immediately. If they want to, their brain may stop perceiving the deceit. Also, we've prepared a little bonus for you, a quick IQ test that can determine your intellect. In 2016, research carried out by evolutionary psychologists examined how population density affects an individual. It was found that people with high IQs showed strikingly similar characteristics. Here are two questions that will help you find out if you're one of them. However, keep in mind that the test is entirely subjective. Here's the first question. Could you live in a heavily populated part of a big city? There are two options. One, no, lots of people stress me out. Two, I wouldn't mind it. I'd feel at home. Think for a few seconds, choose the one, and write down or remember the answer. Now, question 2. Do you feel sad or lonely and experience withdrawal symptoms if you aren't in constant contact with your friends? You need to choose one answer. 1, more or less. 2, not really. So, if you chose the first option in both cases, then you're probably high on the happiness index. If you selected the second option in both cases, you possess the typical qualities of someone with a high IQ. As research has shown, those with powerful intellectual abilities are the most capable of solving evolutionary tasks, and they adapt more quickly to new environments, in this case, highly populated areas of big cities. These people are better at managing the stress of a metropolis, and they don't need support from their friends. Therefore, they can survive on their own. If you chose different options, then you've probably found a happy medium between happiness and intelligence. Have you tried these simple tests? Would you agree with the results? Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to hit the like button below the video and click subscribe to stay on the bright side of life.
Alright everybody, those are the 2 videos I wanted to share today. I don't have very much to say. Today's been a very busy day, so I wanted to come on here and give you a couple of videos to talk about the why the mental state currently at. You see 10 points about the mental illness signs, and then the next video is talking about geniuses and persons who are schizophrenic and how they view different things a different type of way. So with that being said, everybody, have an amazing afternoon. For those of you who will be on True Solitude for the Women Bible Study, I'll see you all at 8 p.m. on IG, Facebook, as well as YouTube. Alright everybody, I'll talk to you later on one time. I'll see you first thing in the morning for the True Solitude's mental exercise. Check in with yourself Thursday at 9 a.m.